Welcome to The Coffee Grind by the Denton Chamber of Commerce, powered in part by Classic of Denton. Classic of Denton.
Oh, good morning, Denton. You're watching the Chamber Coffee Grind. My name is Travis Vaselka, and I am the Director of Membership and Marketing for the Denton Chamber of Commerce. And with me is my trusty co-host.
Good morning. My name is Randy Skinner, and I serve on the Chamber Board. And as a member, I represent Denton County Friends of the Family.
And you're watching the Chamber Coffee Grind. We're recording live from the DentonRadio.com studio, located inside the Discover Denton Welcome Center on the historic downtown Denton Square.
And today, the Frenchie Van says that it's open mic at LSA from 7 to 10 p.m. And, y'all, there's live jazz music at Greenhouse.
At Greenhouse, nice.
That was from yesterday.
That happened yesterday. But what would you like it to say today? Let us know in the comments.
Randy, I appreciate that was like a really cool call out that you
I
totally
was
attempted.
really excited. I saw it over there. I was like, live jazz at Greenhouse. I think they do it every week though. Mm-hmm. Jazz at Greenhouse. Yeah. So you can go next week. And I think they do it
we'll
at
check
LSA
in advance
too.
Next time before.
I just saw it and I was like, that's so cool.
That is cool. I think
it happened already.
Okay.
Sure, it was fun.
Sure, it was fun.
Yeah. So we're here to keep you up to date. Well, allegedly up to date about what's happening in the business community, and we highlight featured initiatives and events from the Denton Chamber of Commerce. And today we're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking with our new chamber president, Erik Clark. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Well, let's just dig into it. So how about if you want to introduce yourself?
My story?
Your story.
My story.
Your story.
I was thinking about that this morning. Mm-hmm. This August it'll be 13 years in Texas.
Oh, wow.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah,
That's a big deal.
Yeah, I moved here in 2006, primarily right out of college to date my wife. Mm-hmm. She was the only Texan I knew.
All right.
Didn't think that would work out, but that's actually what worked out. So
that's awesome.
2 kids later, 10 years of marriage later, and Denton's home. So
that's
awesome.
lovely.
Yeah, we love it here.
That's
awesome. So you're with what business?
Wellspring Insurance Agency. We're an employee benefits brokerage.
Awesome. How long have you been doing insurance brokerage?
On the brokerage side, 8 years. So I went to work for 2 lovely folks, Rodney and Gage Ryden, that own Wellspring in 2010. They were actually customers of mine.
Oh, wow.
I worked on the wholesale side. So I worked for one of the big carriers. Mm-hmm. That's what brought me here. And during that time, got to know Rodney. Then healthcare reform passed in 2010. Mm-hmm. Or no, I'm sorry, 2008. And, oh, no, I'm sorry, 2010. And it was April. And everyone said,
somewhere between 2008 and 2010.
Yep.
And the thought was, oh, gosh, what's going to happen? Hair on fire.
Sure.
My organization that I worked for had a reorg. I survived the reorg, but our sales staff went from 5 to 2, and it was me and one other lady left.
Wow, that's big changes.
Well, I thought it was going to be great because my territory, it doubled essentially.
Right?
Oh, it's going to be great. You know, I'm going to work more, but I should get paid more.
Sure.
Well, that got restructured too. So, and then I had the opportunity to go work for Rodney, and I thought, man, I'm 28. I have no kids. I'm just married, and we have a house. This is the time to do it. Yeah. Let's take a risk, and I went and done that, and it's been the best decision I've ever made.
And it paid off.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is that how you first got involved with the chamber then?
With the Denton Chamber, it is.
Okay.
When I first, again, being a transplant and being young, not knowing that working in corporate America, you're not out meeting local businesses. So when we moved to Denton, I've got to get to know the lay of the land. Mm-hmm. How do I do that? How do I get engaged? I was always involved, even in college, of giving back, serving. And I thought, let's do this. Let's get involved. Let's get to know some folks. Mm-hmm. And that happened. That was one of the first things I did when I went to start working for Rodney at Wellspring. It was really good.
Join the chamber?
It was.
Yeah.
So you started out as a member.
I did.
And then
I'm still a member.
Yeah, that's true. Accurate.
Technically, you're still a member. Okay, so you started out as a member, and then did you end up doing like lead delegate or ambassador program? Because at the time it would have been called the ambassador program, right? Mm-hmm. So tell us about your chamber journey.
My journey.
Fireworks. Yeah.
I like it.
So small world stuff. The actual first job that brought me to Dallas was actually in Dallas. Mm-hmm. A lot of folks listening to this know Weston Thagard.
Oh, sure.
At Access
Shout out.
Bank.
Yeah.
turns out he went to my rival high school in Tennessee.
Oh.
That was kind of small world stuff. We
That
started
is
the same.
small world.
We started on the same day at that job. He left before I did, but he was in Denton, and we stayed in contact. And I said, "Hey, I'm going to get involved in the chamber." He's like, "I'm involved." So he met me at one of the mixers, and he signed me up. He said, "You got to sign up for the ambassador program if you want to get to know anybody." And I did right then. And then that just kind of propelled everything. And it was the ambassador program. Then Larry Parker morphed the program into a lead program. Got involved with it. And it just kept progressing from there. Sat on a committee here. Sat on another committee here. Hey, can you chair this committee? And it just kept going, right? And you know, Larry at some point said, "Erik, we'd like to sit on the executive committee when his year board chair." And I said, "Okay, sure."
Did you know what you were getting in for with that?
No, I didn't. But it was great. It's been a great experience. You know, started out as membership. You know, taking care of that and trying to grow the membership of the chamber. And again, that allows a lot of opportunity just to meet folks.
Yes.
Sure.
And that's helped professionally, obviously, but then meet a lot of wonderful folks that I would call friends. I mean, when we come to Twilight Tunes on the Square, my wife's like, "How do you know all these people?"
Right. You can look around and you can point out all these people. I know that person, that person, that person.
Yeah, and it's just it's made our community, our life that we live here in Denton so much better.
So I was just going to say, for those of you that don't know what the ambassador program or lead program, it's kind of an interchangeable concept at this point, because I think we're going back to ambassador
To the
as
name
title.
of the ambassadors.
So our ambassadors, what they do is they are our feet on the ground, our army of awesome chamber members that are going above and beyond. They do ribbon cuttings. They help with new members to get acclimated, meet and greets. And they're really just there to answer questions. They also are the ones that help organize events. So if you've ever been to a chamber event, you always see kind of the people running around taking your tickets, helping answer questions. I mean, I'm pretty sure like they do everything that needs to be done. Those are our ambassadors. And so as Erik was saying, that's how a lot of people start out their service in the chamber. You know, people that are really wanting to get involved. Yes, you can be a member, but I'm going to say just a member, because the chamber is so much more about getting involved, getting connected, and it's really you get out of it what you put into it. You know, you don't just get to join the chamber and then all of a sudden these leads start coming your way, and you know, it's like nothing really works like that, right?
You know, something should be said about you have to earn somebody's trust before you get any kind of like actual leads to come back in, and you can't necessarily just sort of pop in, say, "Hey, I just joined. Now where's all my business?" You do have to put names to faces and make connections happen and earn some people's trust and say that, you know, I am a reputable business person, and I'm not here just in a flash pan sort of situation. So yeah, it is what you put into it. So that's a really good way to put that.
Yeah, it's not instant gratification, although it is from the relationships that you really do the minute you show up. Like you were kind of talking about that you've forged some professional relationships as well as personal. So what has that done for you kind of in your career path?
Well, you know, I get asked that a lot. Chuck Carpenter asked me that not too long ago, and I said, you know, Chuck, if I had to sit down and lay down dotted lines exactly to, well, I got this piece of business because of this and here, and I can't do that. And I think if anyone's honest with themselves, they can't do that. But what it has done is over time, I got to meet Randy, who later introduced me to so-and-so, who then later introduced me to so-and-so, because the timing was right.
Absolutely.
It's a credibility. Me serving on the chamber itself offers credibility as a business.
That's very true.
Yes.
You know, an example I'll give last week. It's 2 weeks ago. I had an issue with an appliance at our house. You know, and I'm like, I need this part bad, desperately.
Oh, yeah.
Well, can't find it anywhere right away. Amazon, it'll be here tomorrow. Well, then I was, what am I doing? Why am I going to do this? It's not the end of the world. I can wait a day. And you go down the street to Gohlke and buy the chlorinator, right? Like it's $10 more.
Right.
But I'm supporting them. And we're caught up in this rat race of now, cheap. And you know, I want to support local, whereas when someone's doing business with me, I want them to do business with me because I'm here, I live here, I invest here, I do everything here.
Yes. The Economic Development Partnership, and I believe the City of Denton will also put out metrics on how much of your money when you spend it locally will stay local, as opposed to if you were to shop on Amazon or send the money outside of town. And, you might have to pay some taxes or something, and those will stick around. But when you spend locally, I think it's like 60 cents for every dollar gets recycled around town. So you spend money, I think it's 60 cents. It could be more, could be somewhere around there. But that money, the 60 cents, will then go to something else, into somebody's paycheck. It goes into repurchasing new products for that storefront. And then that money comes back around, and it just gets cycled and cycled and cycled. And so you're actually reinvesting a big chunk of that change when you actually do buy local.
Well, I think that's something the chamber offers, right, is that you know who to call, where to go, because there are a lot of options.
Right.
And to your point, it does offer credibility, and it does, and it just offers a place to go and look at a list of like, here's all my options of people that are, they're committed to giving back to Denton and being a part of the Denton business community. That's what I think as a chamber member, you are publicly making that statement that you are committed to giving back. And, I think it's kind of a requirement as chamber president that you shop local.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really glad you didn't order on Amazon.
I really had this epiphany, like, Eric, what are you doing? I was so wrapped up in getting this fixed, and the sense of urgency. Just slow down.
Yeah.
Right? What are you doing?
That's good advice.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea to just take a beat.
Yeah, take a beat. Hashtag take a beat.
Right?
Oh,
I like it. I like it.
So tell us, I'm curious to know, what are some more like anecdotal things that you might be able to share that some people could listen to and say like, I've had an experience or like that, or that's available for me to be able to go and do that. So, you're volunteering. Let's go back to, when you first started volunteering for the chamber. You're an ambassador, you're meeting and greeting people, you don't know anybody necessarily. So from that point into, now,
El
essentially,
Presidente.
as El Presidente, what are some like anecdotal things that you might be able to share from your own experience that might be beneficial for others to know?
Well, it's always a cliche. What you put in, you're going to get out.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's in anything.
Yeah.
It's like, I have a garden. The harder I work in our garden to keep the weeds out, the better the tomatoes are going to look, right?
True.
You've got to, sow seed year in, year out, the better your harvest is going to be. Nothing happens overnight. That would
Very
be
true.
something I would tell any new member that comes to me and says, what can I expect? Just because you join the chamber doesn't mean your phone is going to ring. Right. That is where I would start.
Except for Travis welcoming.
Oh, yeah. Yes. and maybe me saying, hey, come to this mixer.
Yeah, there you go. You get 2 calls.
Right.
That's all you get in the beginning.
but what you will get is folks trying to get you engaged. And you've got to engage. And you don't have, the ambassador program is a wonderful place to start. And that's the best place to start. But if you're running your store, you can't leave during the day.
Sure.
Right.
There's things after hours. There's a network.
Things over lunch.
Things like that.
Yeah. There's lots of committees that are kind of different times throughout the day.
Yep.
And one thing that I mentioned during our the annual banquet was telling our story better.
Oh, yes.
And all the things the chamber does that we don't stick our flag in the ground.
Right.
We're not a bunch of balloon holders.
Right.
There's economic development. We were part of this wonderful facility we're in now with our contract with the CVB. There is a lot of different pieces, and whatever your interests are, there's a place for you at the chamber.
That's very true.
To get involved. Volunteers drive the ship. We have wonderful staff, but the staff really look to the volunteers to help them because we are a nonprofit. There's not an endless supply of dollars here.
Right.
I think chamber sometimes gets a bad rap too for this being like, oh, it's this old staunchy suit and tie way of doing things, and real buttoned up. And don't get me wrong, I think it certainly has been in the past. But I do. Let's be honest. It is what it is. I think every chamber has been at some point in the past. But I think under new leadership like yourself and just the past leaders we've had, the incoming leaders, we're really seeing a shift. And I know that as a new member, one thing that I experienced is that my ideas were very welcomed, and that even if it's not like everybody on the chamber is going to be like, yes, every idea is great, let's implement them. I think that it's really, there's this new culture happening of bring in your new ideas. Like what should the chamber look like for you as a local business, for you as a young new business owner, for you as a retiree who's starting a new business, right? Like, what should it look like for you? And I feel that Erik, you and just leadership as a whole is really trying to bring that conversation to the table. And there's proof to that, because anybody is invited to come learn more, sit down on any of the committees, talk to board members, give us your ideas. I feel like that is something that the chamber is really trying to do more of. And I think we're starting to see that.
Well said.
There's been a big effort over the last few years to improve that. If you look at our board, look how it is changed and evolved. I mean, it's very diverse, from small business owner to big corporate, Peterbilt, ethnicity, gender, everything. We have all components now, right? So we are getting feedback from all pieces of it. And that's what's going to make us all thrive. Look around Denton. Denton is unique, and it is a blend of people, and it is wonderful.
Very true.
And that's why we all love Denton, right?
That's right.
Well said.
Yeah.
I like that.
Go Denton. We love you. I feel like every other week on this show, we just have like a big crush on Denton.
Yes.
Oh,
my heart.
It's true.
Take it easy over there.
And then, so what else can we chit chat? Oh, so you mentioned at the annual banquet your vision,
Tell us your vision
for the chamber going into the future, and sort of putting a stamp on it and saying, like, here, we're making a decision to go this direction.
Right. I've thought a lot about that, and I guess my vision is more. It's a segue, right?
Yeah.
Because we can't go from old guard to new
Immediately
guard,
something new,
right?
Right.
Because that old guard has a lot of knowledge.
Sure.
They know
There's
the
value.
backstory. They know a lot of what's going on. Hey, we tried that, and it didn't work.
Right.
Don't make our mistakes. So you have to stay in touch with that. You've got to keep those relationships.
It's a good touchstone.
Right. And then, if you look downstream, saying, okay, now we need, the tech industry that hasn't always come to join the chamber.
Yeah.
Right. It hasn't always been represented.
Right.
Yeah.
How do we bring those folks in with their new ideas? And how do we blend those? How do we mesh that? Jill Jester's the chair-elect for next year. Amazing job. She's involved, got great ideas.
Yes.
You're going to have fun with Jill. Yeah.
Jill actually guest hosted one of these episodes. Randy wasn't
I
available.
wasn't able to be here.
And,
and they let me come back even after Jill co-hosting. I was like, really?
We need to have one with Jill and Randy.
No, I was about
Jill,
to say.
we're calling you out. Come on and talk about whatever you want.
So Jill's kind of like a little personal hero of mine. Like, I look up to her for a lot. She's my shiro. And I sat here and I gushed the entire time, just like looking at her. And she turned to me and she was like, "Why are you looking at me?" Like, I just am so enamored.
She's amazing.
I don't know that I could handle having both of y'all on at the same time.
Well,
that's awesome.
Even segue back to where we were.
We're experiencing some
we got a lot of weird stuff
difficulties.
going on in the background.
I just kind of went with it. I was like,
I thought this was part of Facebook Live. I don't know.
It's a dance break.
I think we got it all squared away.
Was that beeping happening on the video too? Probably. I was trying to pretend like it wasn't happening, because I was like, I don't know if they can hear it. It's like every good dancer and like a dancer recital knows, like, you keep going no matter what.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. I was channeling that, but no, I don't know. Maybe people heard it.
Yeah. And anyway,
that is it.
Okay, so, but to what you were saying is that I feel like where we left off is you were saying that, it's really about, for you, combining this old guard with the new guard and figuring out how to make this perfect balance.
Yeah. Perfect's a strong word.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I have high expectations, Erik. So
as you should.
Yeah.
No, you're exactly right. You need to hit the nail on the head.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're excited, and I think so. Jill's incoming, so I think that as you were saying, Jill offers such a great mix of professionalism, fun, and just authenticity, and really open to hearing and sharing and collaborating of ideas. So I feel like between the two of you guys, we're in good hands. It's
like
definitely exciting.
Yeah.
Part one happening now. There'll be a short intermission, and then part two will be Jill's year.
That's right.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'm excited about it.
Me too. I'm really excited.
I've had the job for a month and 16 days.
We're
I haven't
still
been fired.
here.
I haven't been fired yet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
you know it's bad if you get fired from a voluntary position. Right? So
it's true. It's true. That's when you know you might need to like have some self-examination,
yeah,
right?
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, well, we don't have to worry about that. So, thank you for chatting with us. We'll probably get you back in the conversation as we go through some announcements and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, but for now, we're going to talk about some of the upcoming announcements. So, do you want to start with ribbon cuttings?
Sure. Okay. So, as a chamber member, you have the opportunity to do a ribbon cutting to celebrate maybe your business opening or some sort of milestone or a new location. And so, here are our upcoming ribbon cuttings. So, first we have Duluth Trading Company, which is off of 35. They're having their ribbon cutting May 17th. From 9 a.m. to 9:30. So it's an earlier one, but I think it'll be a good turnout. So
it's actually part of a big grand opening thing that they've got
they're
going
doing
on.
all day.
Yeah.
I wish we knew more about what they were having. That would be cool. Maybe next time.
Indeed.
So is that tomorrow? Today's the 16th, right? That's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
So tomorrow you can head out there at 9 a.m. Then we have Susie's Snack Shop,
Yay.
which if you recall, last week we had Simon the dog on. And Susie's Snack Shop is going to be opening, and she's doing her ribbon cutting from 4 to 5 p.m. And you can go see Katie and Simon over there at Susie's Snack Shop. They're off of Teasley. And so
Locust.
Oh, so, I'm sorry. Where did I see Teasley? Oh, they're off of Locust, not Teasley.
Right.
Near Teasley, but, Locust.
Yeah.
So they're off Locust.
Yeah, they're so close.
Yes, so close. But if you recall, last week we talked to Katie and Simon, and they are a success story out of the community market. So really cool. And she has chicken feet for dogs.
Yeah.
So I'm planning to go
Chicken
get some of
feet.
those.
Yeah, it's a natural teeth cleaner.
Yeah, and it's supposed to help with their
I'll
bones.
be stopping by.
Yeah.
My puppy Maggie. Oh boy.
Got some stinking
Oh my gosh, yes.
There
Your
you
dog
go.
would love that stuff.
So next ribbon cutting we have is Insurance Auto Auctions, and they're located off Miss McPherson Drive. They're over in Justin, so not too far, just like right down the highway.
It's going to be close to Texas Motor Speedway.
Okay, so right by the Motor Speedway. They're doing their ribbon cutting at 11 o'clock on May 22nd. Then we have Access Art Alley at the Discover Denton Welcome Center. All right. So the Art Alley ribbon cutting will be June 1st. So we are so pumped to see you guys out there. Then our last ribbon cutting is Soulier Financial Group. Ryan Soulier is having his ribbon cutting June 8th. And that's going to be from 4:30 to 5, and that's off Hinkle Drive. And definitely go by and support Ryan. He has been a very active.
And Red, White, and Jazz is their wine and food paired event. So it's really fun. You have a wine supporter from Wine Square. And so George is going to be giving us a really good deal on all this great wine. So red wine, white wine, and sparkling. And then we've got several different food providers. Wild Horse Grill from Robeson Ranch. We have Queenie's, I think. Hannah's is going to contribute. Extreme Cuisine Catering. Milpa. And, oh gosh, am I missing somebody? Oh, Bone Daddies.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
That's a
great.
great spread.
So, yeah, there's all kinds. It's like savory to sweet. And so it's a really fantastic thing. Tickets are $35 for members of the chamber and $45 for non-members. But that'll cover kind of the costs involved. And it's a really great networking opportunity for, anybody in general, even though it is, not even though, but it's geared towards women. But, it's a really great.
So we have the Lunch and Learn. We've mentioned this before. It's about if you're interested in being a franchise owner. This is going to be in Dallas on May 22nd. And then the last community event is the Bride Wars, which I think is so cool. Bride Wars Denton. So it's going to be at Hawthorne Hills Ranch. It's just like right outside of Razor Ranch. So really easy to get to. What?
The first 100 brides are only $5 to participate.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, there's a deal. So that's going to be Sunday, June 3rd from 12 to
My first real W-2 job, I actually worked for my hometown for the city. and I would clean the parks.
All right.
So
Oh, my gosh.
it started at 7 o'clock in the morning,
my
and
gosh.
I would show up. I would be in charge of cleaning all the pavilions in the park, taking out all the trash. Then
Like a one-man job?
well, pretty much.
Woof.
I mean, it was it took all day. I mean, it was a routine. Start at 7:30, knock out the bathrooms. You're usually done by 10:30. From 10:30, you're on to weed eating.
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
from there,
Like,
And also thank you to DentonRadio.com for their support in the production of the Chamber Coffee Grind.
Yes,
So thank you,
thank
Jake.
you.
And for more information about the Denton Chamber of Commerce, you can check us out at denton-chamber.org. You can follow and friend us on social media. Facebook is a perfect example. And then remember to tune in every Wednesday at 10 a.m.
or come and join us outside the window. At
Yeah,
the
be a live
Discovery
audience
Denton.
member.
Bring a
That'd be
sign.
cool.
You know, whatever you want
We'll
to
get you
say.
involved.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. See you later.
thank you.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at classicofdenton.com.